Every day, millions of small decisions shape our lives. Choices so tiny, we rarely notice them. The decision to wake up 5 minutes earlier, to read one more page, to say no when comfort calls. We look for miracles in mountains, but the truth hides in grains of sand. The greatest transformations begin not with big leaps, but with atomic habits. Small, consistent acts that quietly rewrite destiny. We tell ourselves change is hard, that success belongs to the lucky, the gifted, the chosen few. But science and life itself whisper something else. Change isn't hard. It's hidden. Hidden in systems, in routines, in habits so small they seem meaningless, until one day they mean everything. The philosophy: you do not rise to the level of your goals. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Dreams inspire you, but habits build you. It's not about one massive breakthrough. It's about showing up day after day until success has no choice but to notice you. What tiny action today could change everything in a year? Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a freezing room. At 25 degrees, nothing happens. 26, 27, 28, still frozen. You keep warming the room, but the ice looks the same. Then, at 32 degrees, it melts. That's how progress feels. Weeks of effort with no visible change. But every small action raises your temperature. Every repetition pushes you closer to your breakthrough. Change doesn't happen gradually. It happens suddenly, after you've done enough invisible work. The bamboo tree takes years to break through the soil. For 4 years, nothing, just watering, nurturing, believing. Then in the 5th year, it grows over 80 feet in weeks. Did it grow in weeks? No, it grew in silence, unseen, beneath the surface. So when your efforts seem invisible, remember the bamboo. The roots of greatness grow in the dark before they bloom in the light. The turning point: who you are versus who you become. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. When you exercise, you're not just working out, you're voting for discipline. When you read instead of scrolling, you're voting for growth. Identity isn't found, it's forged through repetition. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep voting for the version of yourself you believe in. What tiny action today could change everything in a year? Real-life inspiration. Tiny changes, massive results. Think of every success story you've ever heard. The athlete who won gold, the writer who changed the world, the entrepreneur who built an empire. None of them began extraordinary. They began consistent. They showed up when no one watched, improved when no one noticed. They understood that excellence isn't built in a day, it's built daily. 1% improvement every day doesn't sound like much, but over a year, that's 37 times better. Change compounds, just like interest. Success isn't one giant leap, it's 1,000 quiet steps that no one applauds until they can't ignore you anymore. What could your life look like if you improved just 1% every day? Obstacle scene: when motivation fades. There will be days you won't feel like it, days when discipline feels heavy and progress feels pointless. That's when habits save you, because habits don't rely on motivation, they rely on structure. Motivation starts the journey, habits make sure you finish it. One day you'll look in the mirror and realize you're not who you were, not because you changed overnight, but because slowly, quietly, your habits changed you. You stopped being defined by what you wanted and became defined by what you did. Reflection: the system of becoming. Success isn't a finish line, it's a system. Systems shape behavior, behavior shapes identity, identity shapes destiny. The chain reaction starts small, one tiny action, one tiny choice, one tiny habit. But over time, that small change doesn't just change your day, it changes your direction. The difference between who you are and who you want to become is what you do repeatedly. You don't need massive motivation, you need tiny momentum. Ordinary people become extraordinary, not through giant goals, but through relentless atomic habits. Because the small things you do daily become the great things you remembered for. Every habit is a ripple. Every ripple touches the future. Change one small thing, and you don't just change your life, you change the world that your life touches. That's the power of tiny changes. That's the legacy of atomic habits. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Build it, one habit at a time. Start small, stay consistent, become unstoppable. Dream big, start small, act daily. Subscribe for more cinematic motivation. Moral: small consistent habits shape who we become. Change your habits and you'll change your destiny.